We're ahead at 7. During the July 4th floods, hundreds of desperate calls poured in. Now, 5 months later, the public is finally set to hear from the long-awaited aftermath. Those details coming up.
Still ahead, Brianna Aguilera's family is breaking their silence. Hear what the Texas A&M University students and parents attorneys is saying about why the official report doesn't add up and the family's demands for answers.
And gloomy picture out there. Conditions will improve as we head into this weekend. We'll take a look at that full forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Police in Kerrville plan to release the 911 calls from the July 4th floods. The police chief put out a statement saying they received 435 calls in a 6-hour window as the Guadalupe River became a wall of rushing water. 117 people were killed in Kerr County, including 27 campers and counselors from Camp Mystic. 2 victims are still missing. The chief admits a lot of these calls will be hard to hear. Good morning, all. Thanks for being with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. We're so glad you're with us this morning. It's a little cloudy as you get ready to start your morning. Still cold, so bundle up, but at least it's not raining this morning.
Right, and we are not expecting any rain for this afternoon and for the next several days, luckily. And also, clouds, they'll begin to be on their way out as we head into this weekend. Looking south on our Roberts cam, you can see those gloomy conditions. That's basically what we're going to be seeing for the remainder of today. Temperatures now in the low 40s with a feels like temperature luckily at 40 degrees with that wind nice and calm, so no wind chill to really worry about this morning. Temperatures elsewhere, we got 36 degrees in Carthage, 37 in Jacksonville, 39 in Crockett, and also 38 degrees in Nacogdoches. We'll be up into the upper 40s to low 50s for this afternoon. South breeze 5 to 10 miles per hour. We will have a chance for things to warm up with this wind. Also high pressure now being in control. We look to be nice and clear heading into this weekend. Temperatures again warming up quite a bit. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s with mostly sunny skies all the way through your weekend. There will be a chance for us to warm up even more. I'll show you that in your 7-day forecast coming up.
Happening today, 911 phone calls from the July 4th floods in the Hill Country are set to be released.
Yeah, Kerrville Police Chief Chris McCall announced the release on Facebook last night. The department said they worked with the Texas Attorney General's office to decide to release these calls without redaction. 119 people died in Kerr County when the Guadalupe River rose to dangerous levels. 2 people remain missing. The chief says they received a total of 435 calls during a 6-hour window on July 4th and warns those calls will be hard to listen to.
We want to caution the public that what you will hear on these calls is distressing. Some callers did not survive. We ask that you keep them and their family members, loved ones, and friends in your thoughts and prayers.
Our team from across Texas will be going through them carefully to determine which calls are appropriate to air.
Now to Van Zandt County, a former Grand Saline fire captain gets probation after pleading guilty to a child sex crime, and in exchange, prosecutors dismissed a charge of sexual assault of a child. Patrick Ray Rowe admitted to online solicitation of a minor as part of that plea deal. Rowe was arrested back in 2023. He'll serve 8 years of community supervision and must register as a sex offender. The agreement also requires him to pay nearly $3,000 in fines and fees. If he violates his probation, he could face up to 10 years in prison. A Crockett man's facing serious charges after police say a child came forward with an outcry of sexual abuse. Crockett police tell us 59-year-old Terry Kenneth Taylor was taken into custody on Wednesday on a charge of indecency with a child. Taylor's bond was set at $80,000.
If you live in Lufkin, you may have noticed an orange glow light up the sky last night. Well, Lufkin officials tell us that the glow came from a planned burn from a wood products business on Wilson Street. The company was burning scrap metals, and yes, it was all permitted and expected. Firefighters were on hand to keep an eye on everything, making sure the fire stayed contained within its boundaries. Hollywood is buzzing this morning as Netflix makes waves with a blockbuster move. Sources say the streaming powerhouse is eyeing Warner Brothers' Discovery Prize studio and streaming assets in a deal that could shake up the entire industry. The streaming giant has offered $28 per share for the company, according to sources familiar with the matter. That's the highest bid so far in the secretive process and slightly more than Paramount's most recent offer. However, the situation isn't comparable. Paramount wants to purchase everything in Warner Brothers Discovery, while Netflix only is focused on streaming and studio assets. No official comment has come from any of the companies involved in this closed-doors discussion. All right, be prepared to pay more for those gadgets most people can't live without. Price hikes are expected for items like smartphones, smartwatches, and tablets, thanks to the AI boom. Analysts say memory costs are heading upward because manufacturers are boosting production for AI data centers. Meta, Google, and Microsoft are among the tech giants who are expanding data centers and infrastructure in order to deal with the demand for artificial intelligence. The average price for a smartphone is expected to rise, get this, $465 next year. 7:09 now. The family of Texas A&M student Brianna Aguilera is getting ready to share their story in Houston.
Their attorney, high-profile lawyer Tony Busby, is organizing a news conference today while the family disputes Austin police reports, calling her death a suicide. Police say Aguilera was found dead outside 21 Rio around 1 a.m. with injuries consistent with a fall and no signs of foul play. Friends told police she'd recently talked about self-harm, and investigators found a deleted suicide note on her phone from days earlier. Police say they're only releasing details to counter false claims circulating online.
I hated the chatter probably as much as her family and everybody, and the living witnesses hate it. The problem is I can't make a public statement until I interview everyone, and several of these people we had interviewed 2 times.
The attorney for Aguilera's parents calls the circumstances very suspicious and says the family still has unanswered questions. The medical examiner's final report is still pending. We would also like to take a moment here to remind people that help is available if you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide. You can call or text the number 988. Someone with the Suicide Prevention Hotline will respond.
7:10 now this morning. Time now for your morning headlines. A Navy admiral says Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth did not issue an order to kill everyone on board a suspected drug smuggling boat near Venezuela. Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley spoke with lawmakers Thursday in a classified briefing about the attack in September. Members of Congress demanded answers after learning survivors were killed in a second strike on the vessel. Meanwhile, investigators are sifting through evidence from the home of 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. Authorities arrested him yesterday in connection to pipe bombs planted outside the headquarters of both the Democratic and the Republican National Committees the night before the Capitol riots in 2021. According to an FBI affidavit, law enforcement used credit card purchases, cell phone data, and a license plate reader to zero in on Cole. And parents, before you pack your child's lunch today, listen up. Hydro Jug is recalling 17,000 children's sport tumblers because loose rivets on the handle can detach and pose a choking hazard. The 14-ounce tumblers were sold from May to June of this year at Academy Sports, Amazon, and other retailers. You should stop using the tumbler right away and contact Hydro Jug for a free replacement lid. So far, thankfully, no injuries have been reported. The White House says President Trump has a new architect on board to oversee the construction of a new ballroom. Trump and the current architect, who will stay on as a consultant, clashed over the size of the scope of the project. The president, that is, hopes to have the ballroom finished before his term ends in 2029. While as inflation continues to impact people's shopping habits this holiday season, national trends are showing a rise in secondhand apparel and goods.
Shannon Handy has more, including where you can find some of these good deals.
The National Retail Federation expects people will spend a bit less this holiday season. But what if you still want to buy gifts for everyone in your life? Well, one great option is to shop at a thrift store. Thrift shopping isn't a new concept, but it's growing in popularity. So much so, a report by online thrift store ThredUp estimates the global secondhand apparel market will reach $367 billion by 2029.
$30. And they're Gucci, and they're fabulous, and they're yes.
Online influencers often boast about their thrift store finds,
Bedazzled.
saying it not only saves them money, it's good for the environment as well.
Keeping stuff out of the landfill.
I met Megan Beeman at Homestart in Normal Heights. She loves thrifting for herself and others, especially during the holiday season.
You can set a budget and say I'm going to do $15 for each person, and then find a couple things that are $3 to $5 each and fill a bucket so they have so many little surprises.
San Diego is home to dozens of thrift stores. Many go beyond just buying and selling discounted goods. Homestart is a local nonprofit that specializes in preventing child abuse and helping families secure housing, employment, and more.
Repurpose for a purpose.
CEO Joe Burley says 100% of the proceeds from the thrift store go back to their mission, including giving employees a fresh start.
A lot of the staff who are here are in part of our employment development and training program. Many times young moms who are looking to get back on track.
So what kind of treasures did I find? Everything from household items to $2 sunglasses and a $9 dress, which was on sale for half off.
$4.50. You might see me in this on the air tomorrow.
We found similar deals at the Salvation Army thrift store in Otay Mesa.
This is still in its package.
Some items were new at a fraction of the cost.
And what a better way to spread Christmas cheer than
Major Paul Swain says, like other thrift stores, they've seen business spike. To keep up, the Salvation Army is now posting merchandise online, even high-ticket items you may not expect.
They have autographs on things and jewelry and watches, handbags, shoes, all kinds of things.
A new addition this year, the Salvation Army is offering daily deals during the 12 days leading up to Christmas, yet another incentive to go thrifting this holiday season.
Each day there's a different item, might be shoes, might be handbags. They'll be discounted already on a really great low price.
Yeah, we have a lot of places here in East Texas to do that. We've got Hangers of Hope, Goodwill, Salvation Army. So many great places to do that if you want to.
Thrifting has become a hobby now.
It really has.
People have thrifted the clothes, thrifted their furniture. I didn't thrift my furniture, if you want to call it that. More dumpster dived it.
Oh, okay.
But that was from college.
Dang.
Whenever everyone moved out, and they're still brand new.
Yeah.
It works out. I just refurbished it. But no, yeah, thrifting has become a big thing.
Doesn't your fiance like to go thrifting?
Oh, she loves it. You know, Plato's Closet, Goodwill. She loves it. She loves the thrift clothes, especially.
Well, it's almost like a treasure hunt. You
It
know
is.
what I mean?
You never know
it
what you're
really
going to
is.
find.
And I like antique stores anyway. I mean,
Right? It's like that
yeah.
one saying, someone else's trash is another person's treasure.
Absolutely.
Perfectly on par. All right, well, the holiday season is here, and that means it's time to cozy up with your favorite festive drink. Maybe it's that warm cup of hot cocoa with marshmallows and whipped cream, a rich glass of eggnog, or a spiced cup of apple cider. Each sip, you know, it just brings you a little bit of comfort and cheer. Perfect for these chilly nights we have right now. So we want to know, what's your favorite holiday drink? Is it that hot cocoa, the eggnog, apple cider, or something else, something unique?
What's yours?
Apple cider in the fall, hot cocoa in the winter.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Mine would have to be hot chocolate, but it's the Abuelita hot chocolate.
Oh, what's that?
It's like the Mexican chocolate bar. It's so good.
Is it a little bit like darker chocolate?
It's darker chocolate, and you break it up. It has like as much as you want. You put your cinnamon, you put your vanilla, you mix it up.
It's almost like spiced.
Yes, spiced hot chocolate, and it's so good.
I think I've had it before, but it's been a minute.
I'll have to bring some.
I loved hot chocolate as a kid. Now I'm more like coffee. You know what mine is. It's the chestnut praline latte that's only around for a short amount of time.
Gotta get it while you get it.
And I get it almost every day. But my mom used to make this like spiced tea that you could have cold or warm.
That sounds all
Very good.
Any sort of warm drink sounds really good right now.
Right about now, doesn't
Right
it?
about now.
He'll get a cold coffee here later.
I will. And it cancels out a negative and a negative. It cancels out, and you're okay now.
Oh my goodness.
Can't do that math.
That's my boy math. All right, so math we're gonna have to do today. Traffic times.
That's right, and luckily I don't have to do too much math because we are doing just fine on I-20. We got 2 hours over to Dallas so far this morning, and also an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport, so nice and clear conditions there. Very clear conditions on US 69 as well. 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes down to Lufkin. Traffic has increased just a little bit on some of our other routes. We're up to 55 minutes from Jacksonville to Nacogdoches. Still around a 40-minute commute from Tyler to Longview. Tyler to Palestine, that's going to be about 55 minutes, and 45 minutes from Tyler to Athens. Luckily, not really looking at too many showers here on CBS19 Live Radar, but could catch a little bit of a brief light rain burst in some of our northeastern counties, including Jefferson, the areas off to the north and east, and a little bit of shower activity just south of Lufkin, but that's about it. And as we look at current visibilities, it's starting to drop a little bit over in the Athens area, down to just below 3-mile visibility. So fog is also something we're going to have to kind of watch for this morning as well. That's why I do have yellow lights for you all the way through this morning. For this afternoon, should be nice and rain-free. Temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. Should be nice and clear for you.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Well, it's starting to look and feel a lot like Christmas around Tyler. The city was buzzing with holiday spirit, keeping everyone warm last night as the annual Rose City Christmas Parade rolled through down the streets. You can hear the band there.
Yeah, they sound good. It was an exciting time to see families bundled up, kids pointing to all the floats out there, and then everyone just soaking up that Christmas magic. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza takes us into the sights and sounds of the parade that brought the whole community together.
It's all about the holidays and being with your family, and this is one of the best ways to do it.
Familiar faces that we have here are Jesus Martinez.
We have a brand new routes, brand new stuff happening. Best seat in the house is here at Rose Stadium.
We came down here. We like to be men of the people. You know, we like to chat with out here and see how they're doing.
We're excited. Last year we sat along the road, so we're excited for the new change of venue and for the drone show.
I mean, it's just an awesome way to get your blood going, you know what I mean? Especially with the weather.
I mean, what is y'all's favorite part about this parade?
Oh man, the people, definitely, hands down. We have a blast just watching people, especially the kids, going, ooh, ah, look at that.
I'm just a big kid. I'm just a big kid with the mic that gets to get up here, have a whole lot of fun, and really show the kids that you're never too old, right? Age is just a number.
I'm excited to see the drones make pictures in the sky.
Okay.
I want to see a Lamborghini if I can.
A Lamborghini? Do you think you're going to see Lamborghini today?
Yes.
I'm most excited to see Santa Claus and his elves.
Merry Christmas!
And this parade ushers in the Christmas joy here in the city of Tyler.
All I want to say is Merry Christmas and good luck to Hover in middle school.
Merry Christmas from East Texas, y'all.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, more Christmas magic as Lily Halifax lit up the city of Tyler's Christmas tree. Of course, we featured Lily, you know her, earlier this week as part of our Merry Miracles. She's the 2026 Children's Miracle Network Miracle Child. Now, she lives with Gold's syndrome, a condition which is extremely rare, affecting fewer than 300 people worldwide. Now, the 10-year-old future YouTuber is known for her radiant joy and her creativity, and she was absolutely having a blast out there.
She looks so cute in her Christmas getup. I loved her scarf and blanket situation.
Oh, she's going to be great. All right, 7:20 this morning, still ahead from Longview Lobos legend to ACC Player of the Year. We're highlighting East Texas native Haynes King's remarkable rise in the numbers behind his breakout season. Coming up next.
CBS 19 Sports Report, sponsored by Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Louisiana.
Well, hello and welcome to Sports. We're glad you're with us. I'm Jimmy Searfoss. Yesterday, we learned an appeals court had reversed the injunction that would reinstate 6 sports SFA cut earlier this year, while a lawsuit is currently underway. In May, bowling, beach volleyball, and men's and women's golf were all cut, leading to 6 SFA athletes suing the school, citing Title IX violations. They filed for a preliminary injunction and were granted one by a federal judge in Lufkin. The school, however, sought an appeal shortly after. We learned yesterday it was given. The opinion given stated that there simply wasn't enough specifics within the injunction. It used bowling as an example, stating there wasn't a deadline to hire a coach, and it was unclear how many competitions and how to complete the rosters. We have an article with more information on our website as this lawsuit continues on.
CBS 19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
You know, of all the players we've covered here on CBS 19's Player of the Week, this guy just might be one of the most familiar. But when you run like this kid does, how could we not pay attention? Come on, you know who this is. The East State champion, the best running back in Carthage history, and now officially the Texas A&M Aggie.
So I'm just ready to be an Aggie.
There's a lot to be said about KJ Edwards, but don't think the name will be leaving headlines anytime soon, because behind the all-time Carthage rushing and touchdown record holder, number 0, is number 1, J.D. Edwards. Coming in the class of 2028, this sophomore has carried and caught the ball in a season that's earned him the opportunity to play with his bro KJ at Kyle Field when he graduates. And the opportunity sits to the left of an LSU and SMU offer. Together they make up some of the biggest weapons on the most dangerous offense in 4A football. And the two only have a few games left together on the same field. And KJ is doing the most to make sure that they can make the most of them, including scoring 3 touchdowns in one of the biggest games of his career. And now, even with all of the accolades, he's still razor focused on the task at hand.
I mean, I'm just laser focused on this game. I mean, we got to go one game at a time, so just execute during practice and hopefully it can translate to the game.
Hey, this guy won that award too, you know. This one's a slight step up from it, though. How about this? Haynes King yesterday crowned ACC Player of the Year after leading the number 24 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to a 9-3 season. And who knows where he goes from here or after whatever bowl game the Yellow Jackets play, but he'll be capping off a heck of a career. And I mean a great career. Remember when this guy was leading the Lobos down the field, playing for his dad, ended that 81-year state championship drought. He was a 4-star recruit, could have gone anywhere. Scouts reminded him of Ryan Tannehill, so he decided to go to Texas A&M, where he struggled. Things just weren't clicking. He wanted a starting job, but just wasn't living up to that potential. So he hopped up in the portal, ended up over at Georgia Tech. And there, he started seeing that player that the entire college football world has grown to love, but we knew already existed here in East Texas. Where the Aggies, he struggled. He completed about 55% of his passes, came to the Jackets, now completes over 70, but that's not where he thrives. This man runs the dang ball. Double-digit touchdowns all 3 of the years as a Yellow Jacket on the ground, nearly 1,000 yards on the ground this year, and it was enough to win him ACC Player of the Year. Hats off to Haynes King. Hats off to a heck of a career. That's all I got for you. I'll see you later.
All right, we're about to step away for a moment while we do our over the break cut-in with a quick news update.
Yes, we'll be right back with you with more here on CBS 19 Plus, so stick with us. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for being with us for this news update. Childcare continues to be a challenge for many East Texas families.
Yeah, new data shows gaps in access and affordability. Now, during a meeting in Tyler, a nonprofit revealed that 39 Tyler area zip codes classified as childcare deserts. Those are areas with not enough childcare options to meet the demand. And they also said that across the state, 2.3 million kids under 6 live in areas with limited care, and costs are rising. Many families now spend 15 to 50% of their income on child care. The report also shows staff shortages and low pay are forcing some centers to close. The nonprofit plans on expanding their research to track progress and highlight areas still in need for next year.
The U.S. Supreme Court is now allowing the newly drawn congressional districts in Texas to be used in next year's midterm elections. President Trump had ordered Governor Abbott to redraw the maps with the goal of switching as many as 5 Democratic seats to Republican, so the party can hold onto the majority in the U.S. House after the midterms. But the conservative majority on the high court seemed satisfied that Texas Republican lawmakers had partisan goals, not racial goals.
The most likely scenario, although it's far from certain, is that either Justice Alito on his own or the U.S. Supreme Court grants an emergency stay, in which case Texas would use the 2025 maps for the 2026 election.
Governor Abbott celebrated the ruling and said Texas is more red, saying the new congressional districts better align representation in Washington, D.C. with the values of the state.
A new study from Dell Medical School at UT Austin shows that whooping cough is making a dangerous comeback here in the Lone Star State. More than 3,500 cases have been confirmed this year, the highest in over a decade, and a 10-fold increase since 2023. Health officials say declining vaccinations, increased travel, and low awareness of adult boosters are fueling the surge. The disease is especially dangerous for infants and vulnerable populations. Experts urge parents to vaccinate their children and adults to stay up to date on those boosters.
All right, good times to go out and maybe enjoy the cold weather if you're into that, because it's going to be chilly. Or bundle up tonight, at least, if you're heading out to those football games.
Absolutely. I think this weekend might be a better weather situation to really get out and enjoy the weather. Today's definitely going to be a day with plenty of clouds, but luckily no rain. Just, of course, definitely want to make sure you bundle up. Temperatures in the low 50s for this afternoon. And for this weekend, they're going to be a fantastic forecast. We got low to mid 60s, mostly sunny skies as high pressure continues to be in control. Absolutely gorgeous weekend to be outside, and our rainfall forecast going forward shows that we are going to be very, very dry going not only for the next 5 days, but for the next 6 to 10 days as a drier than normal and also warmer than normal temperature pattern and weather pattern as an entirety kind of sticks around here for the next several days. Our 7-day forecast shows that going into next week. We got temperatures flirting with the 70-degree mark potentially by next Wednesday with lots of sunshine.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all here on CBS 19 Plus.
This is what's coming up in our second half hour. The Supreme Court has approved Texas' updated congressional maps, and Governor Abbott calls it a major victory. Coming up, we'll look at what this means for pivotal races in the state's political direction.
And this morning, the CDC is set to vote on changing when newborns get the hepatitis B vaccine. Coming up, experts explain what this could mean for the newborn's health.
We got lots of clouds heading into this afternoon. Luckily, we are going to be clearing out with some warmer temperatures heading into the weekend. We'll take a look at that full forecast coming up later this half hour.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
We made it to Friday, everybody. Yes.
Let's get it.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus.
A panel of vaccine advisors to the CDC has delayed a crucial vote that could change guidelines on when to give the hepatitis B vaccine to babies. The vote will now happen this morning, and that delay in the decision comes after an hours-long meeting that was filled with some advisors describe that information as misinformation and conflict.
Yeah, the panel decided to delay the vote by a day because there was confusion on the language on what they were voting on. Jen Sullivan shares what happened during yesterday's meeting and the controversy surrounding that discussion as we head into today's vote.
We absolutely have not reached consensus.
You have said we have reached consensus.
A chaotic meeting Thursday among members of the Vaccine Advisory Panel for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The meeting centered around the hepatitis B vaccine and whether it should be given to newborn babies even if the mother tests negative or their status is unknown.
And there's broad agreement that hepatitis B is a serious health threat with serious outcomes. That's not up for debate.
What was up for debate was if additional data is needed on whether the vaccine should be delayed and the dose. The Vaccine Advisory Panel is made up of members handpicked by U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime anti-vaccine activist.
You know that the decisions that they're going to be making are not science-based.
Vaccinating all newborns against hepatitis B was first recommended in 1991. Since then, hepatitis infections among infants and children have dropped 99%, from an estimated 16,000 to less than 20, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. A recent article from the AAP states while universal screening of pregnant people is helpful, it does not identify all infected mothers. They went on to write, evidence shows the vaccine is safe. But some worry this latest debate will create further confusion.
It has already sowed unneeded anxiety, confusion, questioning, and concerns in American families who are trying to make the best decision for their children.
For CBS 19, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Well, today the panel will also discuss ingredients and timing for vaccines on the childhood schedule.
Childcare does continue to be a challenge here in East Texas, with new data showing gaps in access and affordability. During a meeting in Tyler, a nonprofit revealed that 39 Tyler area zip codes classified as childcare deserts, or areas with not enough childcare options to meet demand. And they also said that across the state, 2.3 million kids under 6 live in areas with limited care, and costs are rising. Many families now spend 15 to 50% of their income on child care. The report also shows staff shortages and low pay are forcing some centers to close. The nonprofit plans on expanding their research to track progress and highlight areas still in need for next year.
The U.S. Supreme Court is now allowing the newly drawn congressional districts in Texas to be used in next year's midterm elections. President Trump had ordered Governor Abbott to redraw those maps with the goal of switching as many as 5 Democratic seats to Republican, so the party can hold on to the majority in the U.S. House after the midterms. But the conservative majority on the high court seemed satisfied that Texas Republican lawmakers had partisan goals, not racial goals.
The most likely scenario, though it's far from certain, is that either Justice Alito on his own or the U.S. Supreme Court grants an emergency stay, in which case Texas would use the 2025 maps for the 2026 election.
Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott celebrated the ruling and said Texas is more red, saying the new congressional districts better align with representation in Washington, D.C. with the values of the state, adding this is a victory for Texas voters, for common sense, and for the U.S. Constitution.
Governor Greg Abbott is also asking the U.S. Treasury to strip the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CARE, of its tax-exempt status, claiming donations to the group could endanger Americans. CARE strongly denies the allegations, calling them baseless and discriminatory. The group and the Muslim Legal Fund of America have filed a lawsuit against Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton, calling the designation unconstitutional and defamatory. Supporters of CARE gathered at the Texas Capitol this week, including leaders and elected officials, saying the governor's actions put the Muslim community at risk. CARE says it will continue its civil rights work and defend its legal rights in court.
Texas lawmakers are now raising concerns about a growing home insurance crisis. Since 2019, they say premiums have jumped 55%, making Texas the third most expensive state for it. Lawmakers say insurers are denying nearly half of all claims while charging record prices. They say about 1/3 of low-income homeowners now have no coverage at all. Representatives are calling on Governor Abbott and state regulators to take action before the next storm.
A new study from Dell Medical School at UT Austin shows that whooping cough is making a dangerous comeback here in the Lone Star State. More than 3,500 cases have been confirmed this year, the highest in over a decade, and a 10-fold increase since 2023. Health officials say declining vaccinations, increased travel, and low awareness of adult boosters are fueling the surge. The disease is especially dangerous for infants and vulnerable populations. Experts urge parents to vaccinate children and adults to stay up to date on boosters. Stay connected to what's happening across the Lone Star State with Texas News Now. It's your daily statewide newscast with the top headlines, stories that matter to you, and weather from every corner of the state. Catch Texas News Now. It's streaming weekdays at 11 a.m. or you can watch it anytime on demand on CBS19 Plus. Just remember to download that app on your smart TV. Happening today, pearls, tiaras, and all the glamour. A gala is returning to East Texas to honor Hispanic women and celebrate their stories. Organizers say Pearls and Tiaras celebrates resilience, culture, and personal journeys through an evening of storytelling and recognition. Noemi Brinson, the founder of the event, says that all the women are welcome and many of the people featured have had to overcome challenges like learning a new language, adapting to a new country, and finding their voice. And this night puts their stories in the spotlight.
You know, we represent beauty. God made us that way, and we love, we love to see beauty and everything. So come and enjoy and have the experience to honor others, to see others people virtues, and stories that inspire.
This is their 5th year, and organizers hope it continues to grow into an East Texas tradition. Tickets are $50 and will be available at the door from 6 to 7 at La Vista Ranch in Longview.
All right, it's Friday night and the lights are shining bright across East Texas for high school football, that is. Big matchups are on deck. Football players are chasing history and the rivalries are heating up. All right, let's get to it. We're almost to the finale. So Athens versus Carthage, the matchup we've all been waiting for. These two have battled it out to a one-score game that nearly saw Carthage lose its first district game in years. They match up with higher stakes this time on the line. Two of the best offenses in 4A Division II football matching up in East Texas in a game that is the place to be tonight. Newton versus ARP is another one. It's ARP's turn to try and stop the freight train of a Newton team that has ran over everyone in its path, including Troop this season. Newton has been the team to beat in 2025. If ARP can pull this one off, they would have a great case to be named the state champions. Also got Matt Enterprise versus Bremond. History is on the line in this game. Running back Kagan Ash already set the national record for the most career points scored. Now he's just a few yards away from tying or from the all-time career rushing record in the state of Texas. That record, by the way, has stood over 70 years. For a man that runs for hundreds of yards at a time, this one could be one to be set tonight.
Some deserving Longview teachers are the recipients of this year's John W. Harrison Jr. Academic Field Trip grants. Now, the Longview ISD Foundation rolled out its 2025 Grant Patrol, stopping at 5 campuses this week. The awards fund innovative field trips that take learning beyond the classroom, giving students hands-on, real-world experiences. The foundation says the goal is to expand opportunities across the district and support teachers who are creating those impactful lessons. All right, get ready, gamers. Tomorrow, GameStop is holding a one-day-only trade-in event. Bring in a wide range of items, even some unusual ones like taxidermy, and trade them for credit towards video games, consoles, and more. Items must fit, though, in a 20 by 20 by 20 inch box, and store employees have the final say on what they can accept. That's the kicker, right? Regular trades for games, consoles, and phones are still happening too. For the best results, GameStop suggests calling your local store to confirm your item and check GameStop's official page for full terms and conditions. Is there anything that you want to drop off?
For a new console?
I don't think you'll get a
No,
new
I'm not
console, but maybe some
No.
credit towards it.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to get my watch, though. I like it.
Yeah, right. I love it. Taxidermy? Okay, didn't think of that.
Whatever works, whatever floats your boat. If they accept it, they do get the final say.
Yes,
Which is
I love how it says
bummer.
some questions asked under it.
Right.
But yeah, I would probably trade in just one of the old games that I have that I just don't play anymore. You know, simple
Get a brand
as that.
new game.
That's
yeah,
pretty
exactly.
traditional. I'm thinking if I could trade in anything, it'd be all of the cups that we have. Does anybody need those?
Will it fit in a 20 by 20?
Yeah, not all of them, but some of them.
Small little mugs will. All right, a brand new hospital in California is almost ready for its first patients, but before the doors open, UC Irvine is welcoming some very special employees on 4 legs. Yeah, meet Peanut, Pixel, and Meg. They're the therapy dogs who will help comfort patients from small pups to a gentle Newfoundland. They're already making rounds with the staff, spreading smiles and even a few belly rubs. Who doesn't love them, right? With 14 dogs on the team, these furry animals and helpers are ready to bring a little extra healing to the hospital there. We all need a good therapy pet.
I love that.
Therapy time.
Yeah, it's kind of like our TheraPet here in East Texas. They go into the hospitals and the patients that have been in there for a while, and something just happens. It just relaxes you, and it helps promote that healing process.
It's the surprise and the newness. Where that dog walks in, you're like, oh, a puppy, a dog, and it's always nice to see.
Right, absolutely. And it's always good, you know, back in college and high school when you're about to take an exam, definitely going to need
those. Those are the best times.
Absolutely.
We had stress-free dogs come,
you did?
rolling around campus.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, check this out. Scientists have uncovered what they call a massive dinosaur freeway. Researchers have counted more than 16,000 footprints at one site in Bolivia, more tracks than any other site. The tracks were left by theropods. When the 3-toed meat-eating dinosaurs walked through the area millions, look at that, of years ago. It would have been a muddy shoreline at the time. The trackways provide scientists with clues about how dinosaurs move through their habitat. I find that so fascinating.
That is how it's just like kind of fossilized, just kind of embedded in there. Like, wow, that's history.
It stayed there for millions and millions and millions of years, which is crazy that this Earth has been here for millions and millions of years.
Yes.
It's crazy.
We're like a small little sliver on this timeline of
I know.
everything that has expanded, but
I can't go down that road. I get like, how do we decide to name it a dinosaur? Why do we call it a tree? That's why I'm just like,
who decided this?
Who decided this?
Well, we decided that it's going to be kind of icky outside today. At least it's not raining, but I mean, it looked like it should.
Yeah, no, it looks like it could rain, but I promise you, we're not going to be seeing rain for today. It's just the cloud cover and the cooler temperatures. We're going to be a little bit warmer than we were yesterday. I think we'll hit the low 50s for some of us for today, but still lots of clouds out there on our Roberts and Robertskam looking south on Broadway this morning. 40 degrees, still the current temperature in Tyler with winds nice and calm. Again, we'll see those temperatures increase throughout the day. We'll see temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. Still got some 30s on the board here in some parts of the area. Actually, most parts of the area still seeing some 30s. We got 38 degrees in Henderson, also 36 in Longview, 34 in Jefferson, also 37 in Nacogdoches, and also 39 in Crockett. Now, looking at our satellite and radar, we can see just this stream of clouds. We got the jet stream coming in from the southwest to the northeast. That's bringing up a ton of Pacific moisture, and some of that is translating into some rain showers further to the south. But this high pressure is going to be really key on what we see for this weekend. We're going to see some clearing skies, warmer temperatures. It's going to be a great weekend to be outside. 51 degrees for the high today. Cloudy skies, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And your 3-day forecast shows those warming temperatures and improving conditions all the way through this weekend. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the low 60s, 63 for the high on Saturday, 62 on Sunday. A brief cold front could arrive as early as Monday, but believe it or not, we could see temperatures after that warmer than what you're seeing right here on your screen. I'll show you that in your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, 7:46 this morning, still ahead. This year, more than 13,000 women in the U.S. could be diagnosed with invasive cervical cancer, but the American Cancer Society has new screening options aimed at catching it earlier and saving lives. We'll have those details coming up.
This holiday season, CBS19 and the Children's Miracle Network are coming together for a cause that's close to our hearts. It's time for Merry Miracles. Help us bring joy to children in the hospital by purchasing a teddy bear or make a donation to help fund life-saving pediatric equipment and services. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit merry-miracles.com. Spread holiday cheer with CBS19 and the Children's Miracle Network. Together, we can make Merry Miracles happen. It was once one of the most common causes of cancer deaths for women in the U.S., but the American Cancer Society says the cervical cancer death rate has dropped thanks to prevention and screening. Today, Mandy Gaither goes over new updates to those screening guidelines.
First, the bad news. In the U.S. this year alone, it's estimated that more than 13,000 new cases of invasive cervical cancer will be diagnosed, and more than 4,000 women will die from the disease. But the good news is those numbers have dropped dramatically over the years, but not everywhere.
There's wide disparities in this country amongst cervical cancer rates, and particularly in rural areas, and particularly in the rural South. We continue to see many women presenting to physicians with advanced cervical cancer.
That's why the American Cancer Society is releasing these new guidelines today for cervical cancer screening aimed at reducing deaths from the disease. While the traditional method of a pap smear every 5 years remains the preferred screening method, there's now an acceptable option for women at average risk who don't want a pelvic exam. Taking one of 2 FDA-approved self-collection tests is now recommended every 3 years, as long as the results are negative through age 65.
We know particularly if it's difficult in making an appointment, some women may have privacy concerns initially. So we do think having the ability to have FDA-approved tests every 3 years for self-collection is a wonderful other option.
For women older than age 65 who have had adequate prior screening and not otherwise at high risk, screening is no longer recommended by the organization.
If you're at higher risk because you have HIV disease, you have immunosuppression, your screening should be done with the work through a physician.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
We're getting back to our question of the day. You know, it's time to cozy up with your favorite festive drink. So we want to know, what is your holiday drink of choice? Are you more hot cocoa, eggnog, apple cider? For me, we know it's the chestnut praline latte during the holidays. What about y'all?
So there's another one that's my second favorite. It's called ponche.
Okay.
So think of it as a fruit punch, but it's more apple cider related, but it's like a warm drink. So you cut
It's
up all,
warm.
yeah, you cut up all this fruit. It's sort of like a fruit tea in a way.
Oh, yeah.
Best way to explain it: you cut up all this fruit, you put your tea in it, and just really, really good.
Sounds kind of healthy.
Yeah, it is healthy, depending how much sugar you put in it, though.
Yeah, go light on the sugar.
Yeah, but it's really, really good. It's very, very warm too.
And you like the hot chocolate and the apple cider.
Yes, yeah, and depending on the time of year, for sure. Apple cider fits perfectly with fall. And
Marshmallows or no marshmallows on your hot chocolate?
You know what? I could take her to leave it. I like them both.
For me, it's whipped cream.
It depends.
Yeah, that's good too. And maybe some like peppermints in there
If
too.
it's the marshmallows from the prepackaged bags,
Those are
hard, and no, they're
Oh, no, I like
no, I
those.
don't.
Oh no,
those like the little pre-made like cocoa packets.
Those are my favorite.
I don't like those. They don't fluff up. I mean, I'm not sure they're supposed to, but they're hard.
Yeah, they're a little sugary.
Yeah.
That's probably why I like them. People are talking this morning. Amy says hot cocoa with a shot of Bailey's. I like that in coffee if you're going to have more of an adult coffee.
Beverage.
Richard says apple cider with Red Hots. Have you ever tried that, Joel?
No. Oh, I have not.
You got to try it. It's spicy though. You're not a huge spice fan.
I like mild spice, not too much
Maybe
though.
just a couple Red Hots.
Yeah, sure.
And then we were talking about one earlier that
Elizabeth's
Elizabeth
answer:
said.
hot Dr. Pepper with lemon.
Never tried
Never
it.
heard of it. Now I really want to.
Yeah.
So I Googled it, and basically what you do is you put a slice or two of lemon in your mug, and then you heat up the Dr. Pepper like, you would heat up water or whatever, and then you just pour it on top.
Can't wrap my head around it.
I can't either. I'm thinking what's going to happen to the carbonation. At that point, I think it'd be gone.
Be interesting.
So it'd be like a Dr. Pepper tea with lemon?
Maybe we're going to have to do a taste test.
We should.
I think so.
Oh,
wow,
man.
Interesting.
All of these will warm me up, and you're going to need it for today, Joel, because it still
totally.
feels really chilly outside.
Yeah, we still got some 30s in the area. This afternoon, we aim to be in the upper 40s to low 50s for highs. Here's what I have for today's forecast for Tyler. I think 51 degrees will be the high for today. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. We got some warmer air trying to usher into the area. We'll have a better chance to warm up for tomorrow as high pressure kind of erodes all of this cloud cover away from the area. But for now, still going to be dealing with a mix of clouds into this afternoon and at least through the first half of Saturday. This is our future skycast. So again, no rain, but plenty of cloud cover for the afternoon. Could have a couple of peaks of sunshine, but that's about it. The better chance to see plenty of sunshine will be this weekend. High pressure finally taking over here, and we got some much drier and warmer conditions, clear skies for the duration of the weekend. Temperatures in the low 60s. I will say Sunday morning we could have a couple of clouds for the morning, but that is about it. For the afternoon, should be mainly a sunny forecast. I mean, either way, no rain and great forecast conditions to get out and enjoy the outdoors. Temperatures again in the low 60s for both days. Sunny skies all the way through. Could have a couple of brief clouds in Sunday, coming in Sunday morning, but that's about it. Our rainfall forecast is extremely dry. We're actually moving into a much drier than normal pattern, and also a much warmer than normal pattern all the way through this weekend and all the way through next week. Our next chance of rain is not for a while, and there's a big reason for that. We got a ridge of high pressure off to the west. That's going to be bringing in some warmer temperatures, and of course those drier conditions all the way through next week. So any sort of outdoor plans, holiday plans, I mean, you're going to be in really good shape. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. I mean, sunshine all the way through next week. Yes, we do have a chance to reach possibly 70 degrees in some locations on Wednesday. It's going to be a very nice forecast. We drop briefly on Sunday into Monday with a brief cold front that'll drop our temperatures down into the middle 50s, but we recover very nicely into the upper 60s, and we'll have another chance for possibly near 70-degree temperatures for next weekend as well.
All right, we're about to step away for a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update.
It'll be quick and easy. We'll be right back here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. In Van Zandt County, a former Grand Saline fire captain gets probation after pleading guilty to a child sex crime. And in exchange, prosecutors dismissed a charge of sexual assault of a child. Patrick Ray Rowe admitted to online solicitation of a minor as part of a plea deal. Rowe was arrested back in 2023. He'll serve 8 years of a community supervision. He must also register as a sex offender. The agreement also requires him to pay nearly $3,000 in fines and fees. If he violates his probation, he could face up to 10 years in prison. A Crockett man's facing serious charges after police say a child came forward with an outcry of sexual abuse. Crockett police tell us that 59-year-old Terry Kenneth Taylor was taken into custody on Wednesday on a charge of indecency with a child. Taylor's bond was set at $80,000.
If you live in Lufkin, you may have noticed an orange glow light up the sky last night. Well, Lufkin fire officials tell us that glow came from a planned burn at a wood products business on Wilson Street. The company was burning scrap metal, and it was all permitted and expected. Firefighters were on hand to keep an eye on everything, making sure the fire stayed contained and within its boundaries. All right, it's starting to feel and look a lot like Christmas in Tyler. The city was buzzing with holiday spirit last night after the annual Rose City Christmas Parade rolling into town.
Yeah, you could see it was an exciting time for families, bundled up kids, pointing at all their favorite floats, and everyone soaking in that Christmas magic and waiting for Santa. Jesus was one of them, yeah. emceeing the parade last night before the big holiday drone show and the Christmas tree lighting.
Exciting.
3, 2, 1.
was. Lily Halifax lit up the City of Tyler Christmas tree. We featured Lily earlier this week as part of our Merry Miracles. She's the 2026 Children's Miracle Network Miracle Child.
Yeah, Lily lives with Gold syndrome, a condition which is extremely rare, affecting fewer than 300 people worldwide. The 10-year-old future YouTuber, by the way, is known for her radiating joy and her creativity, and she had a blast last night.
Yeah, and it's still cold this morning, Joel.
It sure is, and we'll be a little bit warmer than we were yesterday. We'll be up into the 50s for today, still dealing with some gloomy conditions all the way through this afternoon. And for tomorrow, things will start to improve. We'll see a little bit more sunshine as high pressure moves in. Kind of a mix of clouds and sun for this afternoon. A little bit of peaks of sunshine will be a possibility, but overall, it's a pretty dreary forecast until we get to tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures will warm up into the low 60s. We'll have plenty of sunshine for Saturday. Clouds make a brief return on Sunday, but we should be nice and rain-free. Temperatures will be nice and warm. And right on average for this time of year, 60s all the way through this weekend, mostly sunny skies, a beautiful weekend to get outside, and your 7-day forecast is very dry, very quiet from there, and temperatures will be inching their way up close to the 70-degree mark by next Wednesday.
All right, 8:01 this morning. Good news before I head out the door. The U.S. Supreme Court is allowing Texas's newly drawn congressional districts to be used in next year's midterm. President Trump had directed Governor Abbott to redraw the maps, aiming to flip up to 5 Democratic seats to Republicans. Governor Abbott is calling this victory a victory, that is, for Texas voters, saying the new districts better reflect the state's values.
A CDC vaccine panel is set to vote this morning on changing when newborns receive the hepatitis B vaccine. The decision was delayed after a tense meeting with safety concerns. Experts warn that any change could create uncertainty for parents, though the vaccine has cut infant cases by 99%.
And it's Friday, and the lights will be shining bright across East Texas with big matchups on deck, and those football players, those teams chasing history and rivalries that are heating up. It'll keep us warm tonight, right? Tonight's games feature Athens versus Carthage and a high-stakes rematch, Newton versus Sarp, with playoff dreams on the line, in Mount Enterprise versus Bremond, where Kagan Ash could make history with a record-breaking run. That is, you won't want to miss tonight's games. Joel, we got to bundle up tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I think around game time, we're going to expect those temperatures to be in the middle 40s. So it's going to be a pretty cold one. You're going to want to bundle up out there. Temperatures only making it to 51 for today. Warmer than yesterday, but still on the chilly side. We'll be warming up into this weekend with high pressure, making these clouds go away, right? Absolutely sunny conditions all the way through this weekend. Temperatures in the low 60s. A brief cold front on Monday will bring our temperatures back down into the 50s, and then we rebound from there. We got temperatures around 60 for Tuesday and very close to the 70-degree mark by Wednesday. 68 for the high then, 65 for Thursday.
All right, this isn't your typical happy hour crowd. Ready? A baby seal waddled straight into a craft beer bar in New Zealand, making itself at home like it owned the place. There it is, waddle. He said he wants a little drink. Now people tried to guide it out with a sweater, but the clever little flippered visitor found hiding spots in the bathroom, even under the dishwasher somehow. With a bit of coaxing and the taste of the daily salmon special, rangers were able to safely take the pint-sized patron back to the wild. As for the pub, locals say it's officially earned its seal of approval. Get it?
Oh, that's my favorite part, is when it just hops right on in. It's going to be the next joke. So a seal waddles into a bar.
And then what happened?
Yeah,
we got the seal of approval after that.
And then hid behind the toilet in the bathroom.
They just maybe wanted to get warm. I don't know. I don't know New Zealand's forecast very well, but you know what I'm saying.
Maybe a little drink. You never know.
Something like that.
The little seal wanted to be part of an adult.
Yes.
He did.
He was a baby, though.
He was a baby. All right. Well, thanks so much for starting your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Make sure to catch the noon show coming up later today.
And keep it here all day long for the latest news and weather throughout the day. Here's a look at what's coming up. We hope you have a good morning, a great weekend, and then we'll see you back here dark and early on Monday.
Stay warm.